and more, and still yet more, till we become worthy of union with you. And help us all to hold fast to Baba's Daman till the very end. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai.
Jai Baba.
You can try Control G.
Control
G.
E. E for elephant.
G. 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 G for
G.
uh,
Oh,
G. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yes, Control G. This is-
Whatever. There is 1 4 something.
Yeah, 1496.
Yeah.
Am I in the correct page, Karthik? 1496. Karthik, are you there? Hello?
Oh, I'm speaking. It's the wrong number. I'm speaking on mute. Sorry. Uh, it's the wrong page. So if you see below, it says 311 of 2007. That's wrong. You need to be in
Okay.
1497 of 2007. Bottom. No. Yeah. Can you see
Mhm.
that? Yeah. There you
Yeah.
have to end. Yes, correct. Thank you.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
And just scroll down. Scroll down.
Yes.
Just see if that bookmark is coming. Yeah, perfect.
Yes. Yeah. This is the
Okay,
good.
perfect. Baba. Jai Baba.
Okay. So let me start from here. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai.
Meher Baba ki jai. Baba arrived well before 9 and took his seat on specially prepared gadi in the kuti. He emphasized to the mandali and all those invited that they would have to stay awake the entire night. But to make it easier for them, Baba arranged for coffee to be served several times throughout the night and also had three kawals present to entertain all and to keep the atmosphere lively. After finishing this super at Mahwa, Janak Singh cycled the short distance to Merastana, but he but as he approached the clearing in front of Baba's kuti, where a pandal had been set up, he was told he could not enter. Twice he approached, and twice he was turned away without being given a chance to explain his situation to Keshav. Others, who had similarly been denied admission, were leaving the hill, taking the path, taking the path,
That led.
taking the path that led back to the village. Janak Matrudatta Shastri and one either and one Baba lover, however, decided to stay. Even if they could not join those under the pandal, they thought at least this way they would be nearer Baba and could enjoy his presence from where they were. After a little while, Janak decided to try to again to gain admittance, and this time a heated argument with Keshav ensued. Erach came over inquire what it was all about. On seeing Janak, he told Keshav that Baba had given special permission for Janak to attend the program. Thus, Baba made sure that Janak didn't disobey his second order. What perfect timing that Eraj happened to come by just at that moment. This left the other two still waiting outside. As time passed, it seemed clear that they were not going to be allowed to enter. One of them became discouraged and went back to the village to sleep. Shastri decided to stay on by himself. Matrudatta Shastri came from prominent Brahmin family in Nauranga. He and his brother were Shastris in bracket Sanskrit scholars. The three brothers became quite well known as Pandits in the Hamirpur district, and M. Shastri became the most renowned for his ability to recite the to Bhagavata in Sanskrit and Ramayana by Tulsidas in Hindi, and for his erudite elucidation on both books. He was in great demand at religious gathering throughout the district to recite from these sacred works and to explain the spiritual truth mentioned therein. And he was handsomely rewarded for his commentary, comment, commentaries through the lavish gifts that people presented to him. Matrudatta became so well known that he started his own school and soon had a group of Brahmin students. In 1952, during the Mass Darshan in Rat, he had Baba's darshan for the first time. He was not convinced that Baba was the avatar, but that initial glimpse seemed to ignite spark of longing for God within him, and he began visiting many famous places of pilgrimage. One time on returning from Haridwar, he confided to Janak, who also lived in Nauranga, that although he had visited so many holy places and met so many saintly personalities and holy men, he still wasn't satisfied. In fact, all of Shastri's searching had only convinced him that Mer Baba was definitely a great spiritual authority. He put Baba's photo in his room and used to meditate on it. One day, during his meditation, Baba appeared before him and revealed that he was Rama. After this experience, Shastri felt that Baba was not just a spiritual authority, but God in human form, the avatar. These are the great examples actually. Baba appeared in front of him. After this, Shastri began attending every program held by Baba lovers throughout the Hamirpur district. At each program, he would give speeches in praise of Baba, affirming his divinity. His brothers and the other Pandits in the area became quite upset. They told him to stop making such speeches, and his brothers said if he continued, they would disown him. His former students also deserted him, for they could not accept his change in their teacher. It was hard for them to understand the depth of faith in Baba. Many times, in the presence of other Baba lovers, Shastri was verbally abused by the more orthodox in the community, but he would merely humble himself and continue to tell one and all the Baba was the avatar. Some Brahmins excommunicated him, and he gladly accepted this, saying, if they excommunicate me and my family, I still have Baba. But if Baba were disowned me, I would have no place to go. Ever since Baba had returned to Hamirpur, Shastri had been following him through every stop on the tour. Now he was sitting alone in Merastan, so close Baba's kuti, and a group of sitting in front of it under the pandal, but excluded from their company. Shastri was silently yearning to be with Baba, and Baba not only heard the cry of his heart, but he responded to it, just as he had declared in the very first message he gave in Hamirpur. This time, God does not listen to the language of the tongue or the mind. He listens and responds to the language of the heart. Just as the program was about to begin, Baba asked Keshav if all those selected had come. Keshav replied that they had. Baba then asked Keshav to go out and see whether anybody was hanging around outside the clearing. Keshav went out and checked and reported that Matradatta Shastri was sitting outside the gate, whereupon Baba told Keshav to call him in. When Shastri was informed of this, he was overjoyed that Baba had responded to his inner call of yearning, and his love with faith becomes still ever deeper. Okay. Ecstatic night vigil. At
If
9,
you just pause, if Mamaji wants to read, I believe he's leaving early, or he's already left. So if you want to rotate, you can rotate. You can give him a chance earlier than others. Yeah, if he wants
I'll
to
just,
read.
yeah.
yes, I will just read for 10 minutes and then leave. अवतार
Jai,
मेहर बाबा की जय.
Thank you, Jai Baba.
I will have to come down, I think.
which
It's
page?
mention ecstatic, yeah,
Okay,
ecstatic,
okay.
yeah.
Jai Baba Karthik, which page is this exactly on the PDF book?
Don't know. I'm just listening on my mobile.
Oh, okay.
Ashish, can you answer that question?
It shows
Uh,
1499.
1499.
1499.
Ah,
Okay.
1499.
अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय. Ecstatic night vigil. At 9 on the evening of February 9, the night vigil began with some devotional songs. The three Kavals proceeded to keep the assembly spellbound while Baba's vibrant presence was such that none felt sleepy. Baba sat on the gadi prepared for him in the kuti, while the others sat outside the hut under the pendal. Illumination had been arranged for the program with the delightful result that all could see Baba. In between songs, Baba would sometimes comment on the profundity of the lyrics or make a joke or send a message to one of his lovers sitting under the awning. It is difficult to capture the divine intimacy or the glorious atmosphere which prevailed that night around Baba. His very skin seemed translucent, flowing with a divinity which he could not contain. Yet his personal liveliness, wit, and charm made all feel that Baba loved them as individuals on a very human level. This blending of the divine and human is the hallmark of the avatar. This blending of the divine and the human is the hallmark of the avatar. At some point before midnight, Baba told everyone to go wash their faces and hands and then return within 10 minutes for prayer. Baba was led, Baba was, uh, uh, Baba, okay,
Was
had his own and exactly at midnight all stood as Eris read out the prayer of repentance in English. Ramju then read its translation in Hindi and Dhake in Marathi. After the prayers, the singing continued, but if anything, the atmosphere was even more charged. The sweetness in Aziz's voice and the heart-touching ghazals he sang moved everyone there. In Baba's presence, the song took a deeper meaning and no longer were merely words, but spoke the feeling of the heart directly. One felt one's own love for Baba given expression in the ghazal and the songs and the Baba's blessing, beaming smile of appreciation made it clear that one's love was accepted and then returned a thousandfold. Vaman Rao expressed the thoughts of many when he sung, "O Parabrahma, Parvardigar, won't you please cast a sidelong glance of grace at me?" Then the solemnity of the atmosphere was changed to lightheartedness by Amardan comic story songs. His humorous acting as he narrated the stories kept everyone in stitches and the hours passed quickly. At 10 minutes to 1 on the morning of February 10, Baba called Keshav to him and referring to all those sitting before him, gestured, "You all have no idea what good fortune is being granted to you at this moment." Keshav, with deep affection and reverence reflected on his place, folded his hand to his divine beloved and said, "It's all your grace, Baba." Writing about this evening at a later date, Keshav recalled, at that time Baba was in an extremely happy mood. His fingers ran on the alphabet board and spelled the words Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai, and he simultaneously raised his right hand up to confirm that Jai. Baba also declared in his extremely happy mood that it was for the first time in this incarnation of his that he had here openly and clearly declared himself to be the avatar. He also declared there that after uh, of his dropping his body of his, he would come after 700 years again. By declaring his avatarhood at that particular spot of his creation, who knows what fortune Baba granted to that place, Maharasthana, and, and to me and to the people there at that time. A little bit after Baba had spelled out Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai on his board, Meherji mentioned to Keshav that by the Zoroastrian calendar, February 10 was Baba's birthday. Keshav shared this unexpected news too, with all sitting outside. With this announcement, an ecstatic feeling of love and happiness swept through the hearts of all there. Keshav was moved to spontaneously chant Meher Chalisa, 40 beautiful poetic stanza of praise of Baba, which he had composed in Hindi during Baba's first visit to Maharasthana in November 1952. Vishnu singer then led everyone in a birthday song, Badai Gavo Aaye My Meher Avatar. Let us rejoice and sing Avatar Meher Baba has come, which he composed then and there. At the conclusion of this song, the atmosphere became even more intense. Kishan Singh writes in his diary, this song worked wonders over the hearts of all, and the atmosphere was charged with love to such an extent that it was as if a bomb of love had burst. Vaman Rao was sitting outside Baba's hut weeping in ecstasy, and Baba called him in and embraced him. M. Shastri extemporaneously recited some Sanskrit verses of welcome to the avatar. Baba expressed his appreciation of Shastri's recitation. The impact of the whole experience on Shastri's heart was such that from then on he gave up all other work and he devoted himself to traveling from place to place, telling people about Baba and declaring him as the avatar. Vishnu performed Arti to Baba and then recited O Parvardigar prayer in Hindi, and almost all there spontaneously joined in and chanted the prayer with him. Baba then called all one by one into the kuti where he, he embraced them. As his lovers entered that small hut, Baba's divinity was so palpable that many were moved to tears. Baba's eyes seemed like two pools of infinite compassion, and as he embraced his lovers in his arms, they embraced him in their hearts. On leaving the hut, some started reciting odes of praise to him. It was truly an ecstatic love feast for the heart, and that night is enthroned in the memory of those who were lucky enough to be there. I was lucky enough to read this. Thank you. Somebody
I
can
was I
continue.
I was just going to say that. I was just going to say that
Yes,
literally Baba picked you to read this spot because I interrupted and
yes,
requested for that. Jai
yes,
Baba, Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
But it was such a beautiful passage, and wish we were there. I mean, just imagine the. Anyway, Jai Baba,
Jai Baba.
Yeah, Baba.
Somebody
Jai
can
Baba.
take over.
Yeah, sadly, there are no pictures of this event.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, so
Uh, Jay Baba,
every
Karthik,
year, every year on this night, intervening night between 9th and 10th, all the Baba lovers around that place assemble there and they decorate the place and there is night vigil. Yeah, Jai Baba.
Okay.
Jay Baba, um, Karthik.
Yes,
Yeah,
tell
yeah.
me, Ashok.
Akshay, I mean, Ashish is anchoring. So just go ahead and
Yeah,
talk.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Ashish,
Just
I just wanted to
yeah, Ashokji.
that you keep a note in the previous page. There's a place which we should highlight. Anyway, I'll tell Karthik maybe next time. It's
Yeah, I don't
No,
know
no,
how to highlight
you
that
can
one actually.
highlight. You can highlight because it's a shared link only you opened, right? So it will get saved also. Oh, it
Acha.
won't get saved. Yeah, it won't get saved because I read only. Okay. You send me a snapshot, please. I will do that tomorrow.
Let-
It's from God does not listen to the language of tongue or mind. He listens and responds to the language of the heart.
Of the
Something
heart.
which
Yeah, I remember that line.
I
Beautiful.
mean,
Beautiful.
I just this is my first. I mean, it really touched. It's basically telling about Meher Baba just wants simple uh, that we love him and no karma kanda, no rituals, no dikhawa, only love. I mean, I'm just going a little bit in reverse gear, but it's something which I thought I'll share with the group.
Yes. Okay, so from here, anybody want to read or
This is the only
can I
forward gear, Ashok. Yeah, Jai Baba.
Somebody can continue, I think.
so someone want to read it from here or otherwise I will continue from here.
From where is it exactly? I'll
After
just
all,
This
come back.
one
One sec. I'll
after
just come.
Jai Baba, after Ashokji, I would like to read.
No. Ladies first. So let
No,
Lovita
no, no,
read.
no, gents first. I insist.
अच्छा कहाँ पर है? Can you just
yeah
point
this
the
one
place?
after this one. Can you see my? I just highlighted this one.
No, my
After
Yes.
all had Just one sec. Ashokji, if you're not comfortable, or maybe if you're on the mobile or something, I can start from here for some time.
Yeah,
Maybe
you
Oh,
can
okay.
start.
Okay. Okay. After all had Baba's embrace, the night vigil ended. It was now close to 5 in the morning, the time when, on February 25, 1894, the avatar had taken birth once again to awaken the slumbering heart of humanity. Although he was not present, Francis Brabzon seems to have captured something of the flavor of what transpired that night and early hours of the morning in the following couplets. By God, but those glances that the beloved was flashing were nutcrackers to our hearts, and floods from eyes were splashing. Our beloved master was hugely amused at loving quarrel of each singer with each to outdo him and win the night's laurel. When the last cups were drained and song settled into a sigh, young dawn was scattering rose petals all over the sky. Let me read it again.
What,
Uh,
what,
by
what, what poetry, what poetry. It's amazing, amazing. Please read it slowly,
yeah, let
slowly and
yeah,
carefully
let me
without mistakes. Please read it slowly. Amazing poetry. It's just magic.
yes, yes. By God, but those glances that the beloved was flashing were nutcrackers to our hearts, and floods from eyes were splashing. Our beloved master was hugely amused at the loving quarrel of each singer with each to outdo him and win the night's laurel. When the last cups were drained and song settled into sigh, young dawn was scattering rose petals all over the sky. So there's a reference of 16. In dust I sink, page number 116.
We have to read this book now. This is the second or third reference for Indus Singh. We should take this up and read it together. It's such a joy to read this passage. I hope others agree as well.
Yes,
It's a very, very nice passage.
yes. Let me read it again. Oh God, oh God, but those glances that the beloved was flashing were nutcrackers to our hearts, and floods from eyes were splashing. Our beloved master was hugely amused at the loving quarrel of each singer with each to outdo him and win night's laurel. When the last cups were drained and song settled into a sigh, young dawn was scattering rose petals all over the sky. Day of demarcation. So overwhelming was the experience of being in Meher Baba's presence at Mehrastana during those early hours of February 10 that many who were there did not realize the deep significance of what had just transpired. This was the first time that Baba had openly introduced himself as the avatar in a large public gathering of his lovers. As early as 1921, Upasni Maharaj had said to Baba, "You are the avatar, I salute you." But Baba referred to his true status only obliquely to his close ones. Although he had conveyed to a few of his mandali in the 20s that he was the avatar, they did not comprehend the true significance of this remark. In the early 30s, during his second visit to England, when a reporter asked, "Are you divine?" Baba answered, "I am one with God. I live in him like Buddha, like Christ, like Krishna." Kitty Davis' mother first met Baba at this time, and she asked him, "How can I understand and love you?" Baba replied, when you pray, have my picture before you. I have always the picture of Christ. She responded, to which Baba answered, keep looking at Christ's picture. It is the same. In the late 40s, Jean Andrel wrote a book about Baba entitled Avatar, but its subtitle was The Life Story of the Perfect Master Meher Baba. Until the mid 50s, Baba was unmindful whether people called him a perfect master or avatar or both. He seemed content to let his lovers at large regard him in any way they chose. For example, during Baba's to Darshan visit to Hamirpur and Andhra, his lovers sang a song proclaiming him as the avatar. But despite this, and the end of each program, Baba's Aarti in Marathi praising him as a Sadguru would be sung, and then everyone would shout, Sadguru Meher Baba ki jai. Or sometimes they would hail Baba as Avatar Sadguru Meher Baba. But February 10, 1954 served as a day demarcation. For on that day, Baba disclosed not just to few of his close ones, but to all that had gathered that he is the avatar. And after that date, Baba always referred to himself as the avatar. He would sometimes even tell the Mandali, who were writing replies to letters his Lord had sent, that they would not just refer to him as Meher Baba, but as Avatar Meher Baba, so that his devotees and lovers would be reminded of who he really is. And in his book God Speaks, which was published in 1955, Meher Baba cleared away the confusion surrounding the terms Sadguru and Avatar. He explained in detail the difference in functioning, authority, and status of the two. Although they both share the same gnosis of I am God, the Sadguru works for limited section of humanity, while the Avatar work is universal. Although after dropping his body, a Sadguru eternally remains consciously and individually as infinite God, but never returns to the world. It is only the avatar who periodically assume a human form to awaken humanity to a realization of this true spiritual nature. Even when the avatar drops his body, he remains accessible to all as the master of masters and resides in the hearts of his lovers as the eternal beloved. As Jesus said, I lay down my life that I might take it again. No man taken the taken it take it away from me, but I lay it down of myself. I have the power to lay down and I have power to take it up again. John 10:17. So I have one question here. Hello, Jai Baba.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. So the thing is, as Baba said, Baba is the avatar, right? Baba is the God actually. But when we speak with Muslim people or Christian people, right? So they say always Jesus or Muhammad was the messenger, right? They always say as a messenger. They never call Muhammad or Jesus as a God. They always call it as a messenger. So, but Baba said always, I'm a God and I was a Jesus, I was a Muhammad, right? So, can you differentiate actually? It's definitely God, but is
Jay,
a
Jay,
messenger
Jay,
avatar?
Yeah,
Jay Baba, can I
can
say
I?
something?
Mhm.
Please.
Jay Baba, Ashish, can I?
Mhm.
So, Christians call him the Son of God, and but I think whatever name they call, name is not important. The thing is that it is the uncaused cause, or let's say it's a universal force. It says that Baba's work is universal. So here I would say that Baba works on uh, various worlds. We know only Earth. There are many worlds beyond the Earth, and one insight which comes from me is I've been watching Netflix, the Planet 1, Planet 2, and other such uh, programs. So he works on various you know various animals in the evolution. So basically, and his work is, I think that this line, the Sadguru works for a limited section of humanity, while the Avatar's work is universal. So for him, he loves and he creates and he destroys. The creation, preservation, and destruction. It's Brahma, Vishnu,
Yeah,
Mahesh. So it is much, 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 much broader, like universal set or a landscape on which the avatar works. So
yeah.
and
I mean, yeah.
that,
Can I come in? Can come in? Yeah.
please,
Yeah,
please.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. He, the Christ said, I am the messenger of, I am the son of God, but he also said, me and my father are one. And the explanation that I've read or heard on the talks is that during those times, the consciousness of mankind was not that evolved that they would accept somebody who is same as God. So that is the reason that they gave this proclamation that I am the messenger or I am the son of God. I mean, Christ definitely said, "Me and my Father are one." I'm not sure about Muhammad, so that's the reason. Yeah,
Okay. So we can say messenger, which for us, as Muhammad, Jesus, even though they said a messenger, but they are avatar. That's what we
yeah.
can say.
At least Christ has
Yeah.
said, "Me and my Father are one." So
Mm.
that's what
Mm.
the explanation is. So.
Jay Baba, can I
Yeah,
just
and in Islam they pray Allah as the stage one, the beyond state of God, and that's why they do not. There are many practices which are can connect to this basic premise that the God is formless and all that. That's why they don't paint and do not permit these pictures and all that. Soundless, voiceless, and beyond state of God. So everything else is just a poor imitation of him. Yeah, Jai Baba.
Jay Baba, I have a comment. Ashish, can you come to the previous page, the last paragraph?
Yes.
So it says, as Jesus said, I lay down my life that I might take it again. No man taketh it away from me, but I lay it down of myself. I have the power to lay it down and I have the power to take it up again. That reference to Bible, John 10, 17, 18. So basically, uh, it's, as I said, uncaused, caused, or he doesn't die, or he may take, as Sanjay said, he comes in a as a avatar at that time,
Yeah. No,
the
that part
time,
is
and
agree.
it is relevant for
What's my
that
point?
period of time.
Yeah. My point is God is formless. God is everywhere, right? God is beyond our imagination. God is it's a even we cannot imagine that much huge is the God, right? So now
Yeah,
Ram, Sri
I
Krishna,
think the
yeah, Ram,
key universal.
yeah, universal means everything.
So
Everything is means
imagine at 700 AD, if you want to, somebody wants to explain people that you love somebody or praise somebody, you may cannot even imagine. So it
yes.
would have been very, very difficult. And then if you tell to them that I am the avatar, how would people believe? So that's why this kind of via media things were probably devised. Yeah, that I am the messenger, I am the son of God. Yeah, Jai Baba.
Absolutely right, Sanjay. I mean, it's relevant to the time and understanding and intellect of the people at that time. So, I mean, we are going back so many 100 years back. So, at that time, the the civilization, technology, and the knowledge of people was not so developed as it's today. Today we have at the click of button so much of technology. I mean, so I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, it is relevant to the time, and the understanding of the people at that time.
The
Jai Baba.
readiness of that of creation to accept the right message. And I think the clearest message is that of Baba. And the answer is very long, right? So it's not just that we say all the things that were said by Sanjay ji, Ashok ji, and are all correct. But I'm saying it's very, very well defined as to what the role of the avatar is and what is the avatar as distinguishable from God. And even states of God is all very, very crystal clear, right? So we have to, as lovers of Baba, we should have the pride and confidence in understanding that and in communicating that to the wider world when we talk about it, when we are faced with questions. Just thought I wanted to share that.
Yes.
Jai
Actually,
Baba,
I
I've
had
sent
some.
a link. I've sent a link. Read that. Probably it will give some clarity.
Jeva, Karthik, and Kama, said the readiness of the people. I think that's a very key word. Thank you, Karthik, for you know, putting clarity and you know, I mean, we all learn every day, and we are still learning. So, and I think in God speaks and discourses, they have, as you rightly said, they have clarified or they have elaborated, elucidated the role of the avatar very well.
Maybe I need to understand it more. Maybe I need to read a lot, but I'm still. I have a confusion. Yeah, Baba said I am a god, but Baba is the avatar, right? Again, God is our beyond our imagination, right?
So if you go to the discourses, there is a
Mm,
chapter I think on called the avatar. If I'm right,
mm.
uh, Kama or somebody can confirm. There is a lot of content. If you just go to the PDF file and search for avatar, you will get a lot of references that might clarify or clear.
That one,
And
that
then
is one
also
reference.
one more thing we have gone through in our MBS forum is the question and answers. There are, I think, a 4 episode series, and in which there is a first question is on Christ. There are many questions in that. If you go through that, probably it'll that's a big introductory. I mean, it clarifies a lot of questions, which is normal for anyone to have. Jay
Jai
Baba.
Baba, Ashok, let me, give my understanding of what the avatar is. I think whenever we use the term avatar, the first thing we should say, not avatar is God in human form. First thing we should say is the avatar is the first human soul consciousness which became God realized without the help of a human being, that is a Sadguru or a Guru in human form, because there was nobody there. As we know from beams, the eternal avataric infinite consciousness, state to be, which realizes itself immediately during the most original whim, that descends into that first human being who was ready to get God realized. And that human soul consciousness was given the designation avatar. And he is the only human soul consciousness who will represent God again and again every 700 to 1400 years. So, yes, is the drop soul avatar, Rama, Krishna, Buddha, Jesus, they are the same drop soul consciousness. They come in different forms, but are they God? Yes, you can look at it both ways. You can say because they represent God or God manifests through this particular drop soul. So you consider Avatar is God in human form. Avatar is not God. Avatar is God who manifests in human form using the first drop soul human drop soul consciousness who became God realized. That is my understanding. So let's
That is
not
really good.
confuse avatar and God. God is existence, the reality, existence, capital self, love, truth, infinity, being, awareness, and so on. Avatar is just a kind of the divine game that goes on, as we all know, because it's all part of the illusion anyway, you know. Yeah, Baba.
That is really good description actually. That makes many think confusion got clear actually. That's good one. Thank you.
I've also sent a link in the chat. I thought
Yeah, yeah,
rather
yeah.
than just me reading it, I asked this question: why was Muhammad considered as messenger of God rather than as a prophet? So there is a explanation there. If somebody could read it, I would appreciate. Thank you.
I don't know. Somehow this DeepSeek is not opening in my laptop. Not sure. I'm trying to open it.
Yeah, we can actually do it personally. You know,
Yeah,
you can ask this
yeah, yeah, yeah.
question on any of the LLMs about why was Jesus called the Son of God? Was he considered a prophet? And why Muhammad was considered only as a messenger of God? So there's a very interesting explanation. If you want, I can read it, you know, from my side here. I'll tell you. It says the question I asked was why did Muhammad call himself messenger of God but not as a prophet, Rasul, or avatar? That's an excellent question that touches on the core of Islamic theology. The short answer is that in Islam, Muhammad did call himself both a messenger, Rasul, and a prophet, which is Nabi. I didn't know this. Nabi is the Urdu word or Sufi word for prophet. These are distinct but related titles, while the term avatar comes from a completely different religious tradition and is theologically incompatible with Islam's core message. Because we all know that Islam believes in duality, that is, the human being is different from the God, you know. But in the Eastern tradition, we know that there is no difference between the human being, the drop soul, and the oversoul. Let's break down the meaning of each term and why they are used as they are. The difference messenger Rasul versus prophet Nabi. In Islamic theology, a prophet Nabi and a messenger Rasul are both chosen individuals who receive revelation from God, but they have different primary functions. Think of it as a general versus a general with a specific mission. All messengers are prophets, but not all prophets are messengers. So it
I
goes
may,
on and on with titles.
yeah,
So I think you
if I
can
may
guys can
interrupt.
do it. Yeah.
If I may interrupt,
Yeah.
I think let's stick to our Baba text for the interpretation and the exact word. The word Nabi, that's how it's pronounced, is not used much by Baba. Rasul, yes, Rasul is used by Baba. So I think better to use our text than use Muslim or Islamic interpretation. Of course, that's a personal study if you want to compare and you get into the depth of things. But for the purposes of this discussion and answer to Ashish's question, let's be very, very specific because Baba wants only that. He has given us the entire knowledge, and what you said before you started reading is spot on, perfectly what we need to know and communicate when asked what is avatar. What is God? What is Avatar? You have to say exactly what Kama said. Jai Baba.
Yeah. Yes. Jai Baba. So Ashokji, you want to read or mm, or anybody else want to read?
Jai Baba, I can read.
Yeah,
I can
Amita
Yeah.
ji
let
already
them
said.
I read.
Okay, from where do I read? It
It
seems.
seems.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, sure. Give me a second. It seems that Avatar's public declaration of his avatarhood is an important event in his work, and that there is a divinity ordained moment. Each time the avatar comes, for him to make it, for years Krishna allowed himself to be accepted by the cowherds as the playmate, by the gopis as a companion, by his subjects as the king, and by some as the Lord. But it was not until the battle of Kurukshetra that he revealed his universal form to Arjuna and gave the world his teachings as compiled in Bhagavad Gita, which declare that he is the avatar. Jesus' ministry in Palestine was very short, but even so, he was careful not to proclaim himself as the Son of God, except to his disciples or cryptically to the public. This can be well seen from the passage in St. Matthew's in which Jesus asks his disciples who the people take him to be. They replied that some took him for Elias, some for John the Baptist, some for various other prophets. Jesus then asked who they took him to be, to which Simon answers, "Thou art the Christ, the Son of the living God." After blessing Simon for this answer, Jesus then charged his disciples that they should tell no man that he was the Jesus, the Christ. Matthew 16:20. It was only during this trial before the crucifixion that he unequivocally affirmed his divinity as he answered the questions, "Are you the Christ?" by responding, "I am." Mark 14 0.62. Although expressed in a different way, we can also see a comparison in the enlightenment of Gautama, the Buddha, and the revelation of Muhammad, the messenger of God. Until the moment of his public declaration on the avatar, the Christ, the Buddha, the Rasul, seems unconcerned about who the people take him to be. There also seems to be an ordained moment in everyone's personal relationship with the beloved to accept his avatarhood. Few are blessed by Meher Baba to accept him as the avatar the moment they first see or hear of him. Usually, one is drawn to Baba's because of his attributes, his love, his charm, his wisdom. One easily accepts him as a good man, a reliable guide, a saint, or even a master, and Baba is content with this. Baba does not insist or expect the people should accept him as the avatar right away. His game of loving patience is unfathomable. Whatever his lovers take him to be, friend, guide, master, he not only accepts but fulfills that role to perfection. Accepting him as the God man takes time and invariably is an act of his grace. Over the years, one's relationship with Baba slowly thrives. Conviction in his divinity gradually deepens until at the ordained blessed moment one's heart very naturally and totally accepts Meher Baba as the ancient one. Baba's open affirmation of his avatarhood in that hut of Mehristana helps hasten this process, and as such seems to have both a divine and human significance. On the one hand, it served as the day of demarcation, which initiated a new rhythm of the avatar's divine work. But on the human level, Baba's declaration that he is the avatar serves as an external symbol of the inner grace he bestows on his dear ones, awakening in their hearts the certitude that he is not just a saint or a master, but the avatar, God in human form. Baba draws his mandali to him. When the avatar takes human form, his very presence draws his intimate disciples to him in a most natural way. They need no discourses or declarations, just a look in his eyes or a gesture from him to follow, and their lives are transformed and they are ready to live and die for him. For these close ones, if they do not come to him in the natural course of events, the avatar himself goes to them. Thus, Jesus sought out Simon Peter and his brother Andrew, who were fishing, and said, "Follow me, and I'll make you fishers of men." And They straightway left their nets and followed him. Similarly, the early group of Meher Baba's disciples did not come to him because of any promise of spiritual advancement that Baba held out to them, or because Baba's declaration of his divinity, but simply because of the love awakened in their hearts for him, which made them straightway leave their nets to follow him. This was true not only of the early Eastern disciples like Bau Sahab, Masaji, Pendu, Padri, Baili, Daulat Mai, Mehra's mother, Gul Mai, Adi's mother, Pai, Pili Mai, Dr. Gore's aunt, Mehra, Khurshid, Naja, and others were also for the early Western disciples. During Meher Baba's first visit to England in 1931, he stayed at Kitty Davies' parents' house at 32 Russell Road, Kensington. When he arrived, Margaret Kresk held the door open for him. As she did, she saw Baba as a vision of gentleness, grace, and love that touched the heart immeasurably. Later, describing her initial meeting with Meher Baba, she recalled, I only knew that for that moment, knew that from that moment there has never been a moment's doubt as to his being the embodiment of love and life. Kitty Devi was another whose life was changed from her initial contact with Baba. Recalling the first night that Baba spent in her parents' home, Kitty writes, about 6 of us packed into a large prayer room. I slept on the floor. Margaret tells me that in the middle of the night I jumped upon the floor and, going to her bed, shook her. She woke she awoke with a startle. What is the matter? Anything wrong? Why are you weeping? I replied, he is so wonderful, so lovely. In the morning, I had no recollection of the incident whatsoever. Delia de Leon, first
Sorry.
Delia de Leon's first meeting with Baba occurred a day or so after Kitty's. She reminisced about her time with Baba during the London visit as follows. During that week, I went about like one in a dream. I was stunned with the wonder of Baba. Nothing else existed for me. I saw him every day, and from then on, I had an implicit trust and faith in him. I asked no questions. I wanted nothing from him. I gave my life into his keeping and knew my search was at the end. How beautiful is that? I mean, just a few thoughts in my head. I think at various stages of our lives, I think we have similar feelings and experience towards Baba, you know. You look at him, he draws you, and by you are hook, line, and sinker uh, in his love. And there's no doubt your heart, your soul says, you know, uh, whether he's the one, we don't know, but he's the one for us. He's the one who we must submit to. He's the one who we must listen to. Jai Baba. Okay, I'll continue reading.
Yes.
However,
Yeah.
Hey, Jai Baba. Ashish, there are two references, 18 and 19. If you can just.
Yeah, I was about to go there.
Yeah, I agree with what Nomita ji said. It's a masterful passage again. It's a very, very beautiful passage. And yeah, all of us
Yeah.
have been
Baba
through.
wants us to do that, but it's also our effort that we have to consistently do. One thing that we are doing is, assembling on Saturday, Sundays. But you're reading various books. People do a lot of things like get up early morning, then you remember before sleeping, 12 o'clock noon, 5 o'clock in the evening, when you eat something, dinners and breakfast and all that. And what I find is also reading books about Baba. So he's always in the mind when you're reading any books. Yeah, that helps
I
to
I
for
find one
your
more thing is
mind to
alarm.
stay. It's, you have to bring your mind and monkey mind back to its place, and these efforts help. And then, of course,
Uh,
he
Keeping the
does.
alarms
Jai Baba.
or,
And
or
Jay,
keeping the
Jay
alarms.
Baba, can I? So, Sanjay ji and Nomita ji have, and everybody said correct. But one ritual which I learned and I'm sharing is that before every meal we say a prayer, and after every meal we thank him. So we can, I mean, whatever way you want to say a prayer, because uh, we are all recipient of the bounty of the Lord. So when I was in the hostel, we used to say a prayer before every meal and a prayer after every meal. So because whatever we receive, His divine grace, and in the and whatever gifts and bounty we receive, we should always be grateful to Him. So gratitude to for whatever we have. It might be the bed, the home, or the
Yeah, yeah,
health.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
correct.
sorry I've diverted, but
That's correct. Also on the salary
After
day.
every breath you take, every move you make, you say Baba. That's what it said.
Yeah.
yeah,
uh,
yeah,
Salary
Jai
day
Baba,
also.
yes,
Jai
salary
Baba.
day. Yes, yes. We need
you know,
money.
when you are new in a relationship, you want to symbolize it with flowers, with letters, and with thinking. But when you're in love, it is very automatic to be in the company of the beloved all the time. It is not the small stops we take while eating or gratitude. Your being is full of gratitude. He becomes part of you, and it's a happy space to be in. So, in between whatever you are doing, it's very joyful to be in thought of
Right, right.
Meher Baba.
In, yeah, in one of the thoughts, it says, like in human love, you fall in love by looking at somebody, and then you remember him. But in Baba's case, you have to remember him and make efforts to remember him always, and then you actually fall in love. Finally, that's how it is. Then it becomes automatic, as you were
Yeah,
explaining. Yeah, Jai
yeah.
Baba.
Jai
The other
Baba,
way around.
another thing
Namita,
is,
Namita, what about the worldly beloved? Sunil Dar, we should start with our worldly beloved and through that, through the divine beloved, right? Hey, Baba, all of us, hopefully.
yes, of course, of course. I am
Yes,
very blessed to have a calm husband like him, and I am in Baba's path because of him. So of course he's very important to me. So worldly beloved is also crossing the sea of our life together, holding hands towards Baba, and we I couldn't have done it without him, or I wouldn't even have been in this space without him. So I am mindful and grateful in every breath for this life, for accelerating my path in this direction. A couple is a power, and Baba's grace is a powerhouse. And I'm a Baba lover by invitation. And Sunil is born into a Baba family. So, as they always say in Baba world, he turns the key. And I am a living example of he turns the key. I had so many gurus, swamis, my family, my parents were into. One fine morning, everybody dissolved into Baba. No questions asked, nothing. So it's his love that makes you what you are, slows you down or accelerates you on the path, and be in this beautiful thought and space where you are so much at peace with himself, with yourself. um, it also is His grace on us, and gratitude is something that fills my heart all the time, all the time. Thank you, Baba, for showing us this light. There are so many blemishes in our lives, greed, anger, lust, all those things. Previously, there was no way I would see those things. But now I can take a pause. I can say sorry to him, to anyone. But that only happens because Baba shows you the bigger picture. When you feel Baba in your heart, it's the ultimate treasure you have. So then every other material thing, you are grateful because you get to enjoy bounties of his world. But that's not the end all. End all is to be at peace in the moment in Baba's love, and in gratitude with all that he's provided. Jai Baba.
Jay Baba, just I have one comment, Namita ji. What
Anji.
all of you said is true. There is, a very good chapter in discourses on love. It moves from physical love to divine love on a spectrum of 0 to 1. So, I mean, we are all in this world of illusion, and it's true that we are all, a family, and the Dhars as a family are really great. I mean, be it Surinder, Vijay Dhar, and of course their father. So you are very fortunate, I would say.
Thank you.
Jai Baba. You
Thank
you
you,
you
Jai
you,
Baba.
you yourself are an angel, or let's say
Oh
Mirabai.
my God. All praise to Baba. We are all work in progress, but Baba is 100% grace, divinity, love, knowledge. We are, some are 50%, 60%, 70%, 20%. We are all work in progress towards becoming that 100% goal. And this is the whole story we are into. And so grateful to Baba for giving us this continuity in reading his word and reflecting and benchmarking his teachings and collaborating our movement, our ways of this life based on what Baba teaches. And he teaches in such simplicity, because the barometer of learning Baba or earning his grace is nowhere else but your own gut, your own heart, your own soul, which tells you, yeah, this is good, this is not good, this is what I must improve in my own self. And having the grace of accepting things that are not in your control, and knowing that if it has happened, Baba has a bigger, better meaning for me. This can't happen if he doesn't show us the way. As humans, we always have this ego that I'm better than you, I'm better looking than you, I have more money than you. All these are variables which we drop here, including this body. The only thing, this sense of being in the moment in Baba's complete surrender and love, is the earning which all of us, all these people, all of us in the group are so lucky to be wading the waters of this world, holding each other's hand with Baba's grace and his push and his draw, his attraction.
Yeah.
So it's a beautiful space to be in every weekend. Thank you, Jai Baba. Should I
Jai Baba.
read or I should just sermon?
No, Jay Baba, I just have a comment, Nomita ji, and we have the K squared, Karthik and Kama. Karthik, the moderator, and Kama with his highly intellectual comments. I mean, some of it is really, very, very profound. But and when we listen back to the recordings, it's phenomenal the amount of content we have. This YouTube University, Jay Baba.
I have one more thing to say. The intent of your soul defines the content of your life. This is my, how you feel for others, what feeling you have for other people. You wish them well, you want to show up for them and stuff like that. Then Baba weaves a, a clean, nice path for you. The intent of your soul defines the content of your rest of the life, and if you come back lives after. Jai Baba, that's my own interpretation. Jai Baba, I'm sorry if I'm talking too much. I'll continue reading. During that week, I went about like one in a dream. I was stunned with the wonder of Baba. Nothing else existed for me. I saw him every day, and from then on, I had an implicit trust and faith in him. I asked no questions. I wanted nothing from him. I gave my life into his keeping and knew my search was at end. The footnotes are 17 Dance of Love, back cover, 18 Love Alone Prevails, page 13, The Godman, page 96. When the master is ready, however, not all of Baba's close ones accepted him instantaneously. Upon their first meeting, Malcolm Sherloss account reflects another aspect of Baba's drawing his dear ones to him. After visiting England in 1931, Baba decided to visit the US the same year. Although he didn't know anyone there, he cabled Malcolm and his wife Jean, who had only heard about him but had never met him, to prepare to be his hosts when he came. With the help of Margaret Mayo, who offered the use of large grey stone house overlooking the Croton River in Harmon, New York, they, with the help of friends, prepared for Baba's arrival. In 1953, Malcolm sent Adi a manuscript titled When the Master is Ready, describing Baba's stay and his personal experiences with him. The following is an excerpt from it. My first interview with Baba was the first afternoon. I was chopping wood for the fireplace in his Baba's room when he passed with Chanji. He stopped and picked up a comb which had dropped. Unnoticed from my pocket, I was touched. Something warm stirred within me. I had had as yet almost no personal contact with Baba, but I knew that he was revered by thousands of people in India as a God realized being, another Krishna. And here he was, noticing a lost comb, stooping to pick it out of dust, handing it to me with a sunny smile. I thanked him, and he asked in gestures if I would like to join them for a walk. We descended the long flight of narrow wooden strips that wound from the house down to the private landing on the Croton River far below. The sun was setting as we reached the landing. We gazed for a moment silently. Then Baba took the alphabet board out of his pocket and turned to me. I'm God, he spelled out on the board, simply and directly. I know, I answered quietly, thinking to myself, so am I. I did not realize then the difference between Baba's consistent experience of indwelling divinity and my bland intellectual assumption of it. But Baba did not mind. He knew my limitations, and even if I didn't, and he knew my potentialities better than I did. Oh my God, this is another level. That was why he had come to help me to realize both. So he continued patiently. I'm the ancient one. I was still convinced then that the way to realization was to find the God within oneself, without dependence on outer things or other persons. I was not seeking a master. I did not wish to become a disciple. It was not, however, until the 12th night of his visit that I capitulated. The Westerners had gathered in the living room after dinner. Medrith Starr was explaining to some of the group who had theosophical backgrounds and theosophical ideas Baba's teachings in regard to inner planes. I grew suddenly very tired of words. I was glad that Baba at least was silent, and as politely as I could, I excused myself for bed. Before I retired, Medrit came to tell me that Baba wished everyone to meditate on him just before going to sleep. I did not then believe in meditation on any person. I had never done it, nor did I wish to do it. I determined not to accede to his request. But when I started to go to sleep, I found myself thinking about Baba in spite of my decision. I could not seem to get him out of my mind. It must have been about midnight that I woke from sleep, with tears pouring from my eyes and a realization in my mind of Baba's true nature and mission. I have never been able to put this into words. As Kabir has said, it was never it can never be told with the words of the mouth. It can never be written on paper. Baba had revealed to me his universal form as Krishna revealed to Arjuna, and with the revelation went all my reservations. I capitulated. I knew that Baba was, I knew what his mission was, I knew it is my destiny to serve him. The next morning, when I saw Baba, he embraced me and asked in pantomime, with a twinkle in his eyes, whether I had slept well. I nodded, then exclaimed, Baba, why don't you reveal yourself to everyone as you revealed yourself last night to me? Baba smiled, said nothing, and embraced me again. Avatar Meher Baba's relationship with each of his dear ones is unique, just as his relationship with each soul in creation is unique. For each individual, the avatar reveals himself at a different time and in a different way. The only constant is that with everyone, the avatar relates in a simple, direct, and loving manner. The long digression was meant to illustrate a point that, in general, the avatar's declaration of his being the Son of God, the Prophet, the Buddha, the Ancient One, is not primarily for his mandali, it is for his dear ones who have been connected with him for lifetimes, but who did not have the good fortune to live with him. Their relationship with the Avatar, however, is very deep, and his declaration of his avatarhood is well, like a well very deep, and the declaration of his avatarhood is like a well which suddenly taps and realizes the waters of his love, bubbling forth in the conviction of the hearts of his dear ones that he is indeed who he is. He is the ancient one, the avatar.
Baba.
Jai Baba, do you want to read? Uh,
Uh, or
Ashokji?
anybody want? Yes.
Yeah, I'll read. Uh, Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai. Second lease on life. Returning to our account of Baba's second Hamilpur tour, Baba agreed to visit the homes of some of his lovers in Maheva on the morning of February 10th, only an hour or so after the memorable all night vigil had ended. That morning, Keshav's wife brought him the news that her younger sister, Lalit Kishori, was on the verge of breathing her last. She had been suffering from both typhoid and double pneumonia. The doctors had given up hope and informed the family that she was not going to live much longer. By the evening of February 9, she had lost power of speech and her eyes had turned to a stony state. Yet, even in this critical
Even in this
state,
critical.
she had gotten up and tried to rush for Baba's darshan as soon as she heard about his arrival. But overcome by weakness, she had collapsed unconscious at the doorstep. Now, the next morning, it seemed as if the end was fast approaching. Hero of this, Baba also consented to visit Kishori's house. Just before he arrived, she regained consciousness and began to stare fixedly at a small framed photograph of Baba which she had held upon her breast. Baba went to her side and lovingly caressed her face. In a very faint voice, she whispered, Baba, my lord, please help me. I am in great agony. Baba gazed at her with his bright, soothing eyes and left the room. With gestures, he conveyed to others that it was 99% certain that Kishori would not recover. He asked Keshav to tell her to take his name until her last breath. When she was when she has no more strength to utter my name audibly, Baba instructed, tell her to repeat it mentally. Keshav went in and conveyed this message to her. Then to Keshav's younger brother, Devendra, Baba prescribed a special treatment to be administered to Kishori according to an exact schedule. Devendra later confided his impression that if there had been any chance of recovery at all, Baba's prescription, at least from the standpoint of medical science, would have ended it. Yet, to the amazement and delight of all, Kishori's health was restored. It was felt by everyone that Baba had granted her a second lease on life. The best medicine may not prolong a patient's life, yet an apparently wrong treatment by the avatar can bring the hope for result. The best medicine may not prolong a patient's life, yet an apparently wrong treatment by the avatar can bring the hope for result. The avatar's blessing and loving remembrance supervene all laws of medical science and can turn that and can turn what would ordinarily be bad medicine into a pure boon. By Baba's grace, Kishori is alive even to this day, 1986. Wow.
So
Mere
you
Sa-
want bad medicine, Ashokji? You want bad medicine or good medicine?
no, no, with Baba's grace, since you raised it, uh, the bad medicine of Meher Baba, and after a year plus of treatment, I am on the path to recovery. I just want to share with everybody, and it
Jai
is
Baba, Jai Baba,
Excellent, Jai
Jai
Baba.
Baba,
and it is
Jai
Congratulations.
Baba,
Jai
it,
Baba, Jai Baba,
it
Jai
is all
Baba.
your
Ashokji,
collective
all the best.
Jai
uh,
Baba, Jai
Jai
Baba.
Baba. It is all everybody's collective prayers in this group, and also I thank beloved Baba, Jai
Jai
Baba.
Baba. Jai
I, I
Baba.
I don't know. Baba made me read this, and I was just going through in my mental mind what I have gone through last 1 year plus from last February. So with I thank everybody in this group for their wishes, and of course, beloved Baba. Without his divine
Yeah,
grace,
yeah, yeah.
nothing, not even a leaf can turn. So
Yeah.
That's
He
correct.
gave you so much strength
And
to withstand
Baba,
difficulties.
Baba is testing you and bringing you closer to him. As they say, these sufferings are a benediction, and they are progressing much faster than all of
absolutely,
us.
and I'm very grateful to
Yeah,
him
yeah,
that
yeah,
I'm very
yeah,
grateful to him that for this
yeah,
MBA forum,
yeah.
Baba has given me strength that even in the hospital I used to attend and listen to all of you.
Yes,
Jai Bhai.
yes. Yeah, yeah. That was very inspiring, if I may say so. Jai Baba. Yeah.
Jai
Meher Sa-
Baba.
Jai Baba. Meher Sana, threshold to Meher the Avatar. Within a few hours, Baba returned to Meher Sana from his house in Maheva. It was here that he wished to conduct a meeting. He had called of some of his workers and lovers residing in the Hamirpur area. During this intimate gathering, Baba took his seat outside the kuti, and his closed ones sat on the ground around him. Whenever Baba was in company of his lovers, a gentle, blissful feeling seemed to emanate from him, reaching the hearts of all. Sometimes, without a word being exchanged, those with Baba felt their hearts call out to him and heard his answers in a silent, loving dialogue. If I may say that when we go to Mehrabad, many of us might have felt this. I'll just read the last line again if it's okay with all of you. Sometimes, without a word being exchanged, those with Baba felt their hearts call out to him and heard his answers in a silent, loving dialogue. This
Yes.
meeting was, sorry, yes,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sure. We all feel that way, as if we are talking to him when we go there.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. This meeting was to discuss the activities being done by those at Hamirpur to disseminate Baba's message of love to the public. Baba emphasized that all should be completely frank in expressing what they felt. At his urging, a member of the reception committee, Gaya Prasad, mentioned that the selection of people to attend night vigil struck him as arbitrary and a bit unfair. The complaint indirectly reflected on Keshav, but instead of reprimanding Keshav, Baba, with his swift and subtle humor, conveyed that through eternity, whenever the avatar visits the earth, such differences of opinion amongst his dear ones are present. Even at the time of Krishna, such disagreements among his close ones were there. Baba smiled and added that his habit of patiently hearing such dispute in a way broke the monotony of his work. Baba pointed that until one realized God, one could not escape one's ego. Even advanced souls up to the fourth plane are not free from egoistic tendencies. Only one who is established on the fifth plane is saved from the ill effects of egoism. Then, looking around the gathering, Baba asked if any of the others wished to say anything. Pukar tried to make some conciliatory comments, but Baba insisted that all should use this opportunity to unburden themselves of any misgivings they might be harboring in their hearts concerning one another. Baba lovingly conveyed that he wanted all to feel completely free and none should hesitate when asked by him to speak out what he honestly felt, thought, or felt. Reverting then to the earlier disagreement between Gaya Prasad and Keshav, Baba asked them questions in such a way that it soon became apparent that Keshav had been acting on instructions from Baba, which Gaya Prasad hadn't known about. On the other hand, it became clear that when Keshav had literally followed Baba's orders, he had also in some cases used his discretion. Under Baba's skillful and lively handling of the situation, both Gaya Prasad and Keshav realized that the other was sincerely trying his best to obey Baba, and each asked forgiveness from the other for his feelings and lack of tolerance. Baba looked pleased at his open admission of error and determination to cooperate fully in the future. If I may add, this is a typical HR situation we all face or might have faced in our corporate lives.
If you start reading, Ashish, can you scroll down to see when this section ends and
Yeah.
next subtitle is
Yes.
there? Yeah, please.
It's uh it's a part
Yes.
basically.
No, no,
Yeah,
hold on.
This
That's
much.
it. So let's finish it. Let's finish it.
Let's
yeah,
finish
yeah.
this one.
Go
Yeah,
back.
let's finish this one.
Yeah, let's
If,
go back to
if,
that
if
point. I'm trying to
everybody
finish.
can spare a few minutes more, we'll finish it. Where was I? Can you just put the marker, please? Sorry. Uh,
I
From
will.
who am I now you are talking about? Where am I?
yes, yes. The score rolling is happening.
Pukar, we finished this one, and yeah, Baba then spelled out his on his
Yeah, yeah.
board.
Can I continue?
Correct, correct,
Ba-
correct.
Baba
Yes.
spelled out on his board. I bring out your weakness because I love you. Be honest. Weaknesses are there in everyone. You should not be afraid of them. You should be afraid of dishonesty. Who does not get bad thoughts? Even if you have the worst possible thoughts, the important thing is to take care of your actions. With a short pause, Baba continued. Had it not been for the weaknesses in everyone, there would have been no difference between me and you. I'll just read it again. With a short pause, Baba continued. Had it not been for the weaknesses in everyone, there would not have been there would have been no difference between me and you. So basically, it refers to sanskaras. During this short meeting, which was really another service for Baba's Hamirpur workers and lovers, he skillfully let everyone get everything off their chest, yet saw that there was no lingering bitterness or disharmony resulting from the frank exchange of opinions. Baba once stated that he alone does his work. He does it in spite of us and not because of us. What one does outwardly in Baba's cause is less important than what Baba does inwardly for that person. Can you just put a marker? Wait 1 second.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yes.
His dear ones, Baba once conveyed, your business is to love me, the rest is my business. We take refuge in Baba's heart, his ever living presence, and take care, while doing Baba work, not to turn a breeze of disagreement into a hurricane. We will be attending to our business. In addition, we will be more receptive to Baba's business in us. Wow, this is very profound. Baba's second glorious and eventful darshan tour of the Hamirpur area ended at Meherstana. It concluded, however, amidst transportation problems. The permit to travel on the canal roads had expired on the 9th. So on the 10th, not long after Baba's workers meeting at Meherstana, he and his party had to board a new bus to take them to Hamirpur and yet another from there to take them to Lucknow, where they boarded a train for Bombay. In Bombay, the Mandli found they couldn't reserve seats on the bus to Mahabaleshwar from Pune. As Baba had specifically expressed his wish to have the entire party reach Mahabaleshwar by February 12th, there was a certain amount of urgency and anxiety to get advance booking. On arriving at Pune, they found that all the seats on the Mahabaleshwar bus had already been booked. The Mandli was in a fix. In the lives of his lovers, Baba makes the impossible possible, but concerning his own plans, the possible was sometimes rendered impossible. Fortunately, at the last minute, someone who had bought a block of seats on the Mahabaleshwar bus appeared at the reservation office wanting to sell the tickets back to the clerk. Pendu immediately purchased them, and thus all were able to reach Mahabaleshwar on the 12th. A good ending. Meher Baba's second visit to Hamirpur will be remembered primarily for the night vigil at Meherstana. Astana literally means threshold, and Meherstana, in a way, served as a threshold between Meher Baba's disclosing his avatarhood to his mandali and his affirming it to the world at large. Only the year before at Dehradun, Baba had stated in one of his messages, I am the highest of the high. Now at Meherstana, that if was removed for good, the next year a new Aarti, Divya Sanatan, glorifying Baba as the ancient one. The avatar was composed by Madhusudan. This replaced Deshmukh's Aarti, acclaiming Baba as a Sadguru, which was no longer sung in public programs. Ashish, can you just take it up, please? Thus,
Uh,
thus the little hut on the hill known as Mehrstana has become a place of immense spiritual importance, while February 10th, 1954 is regarded by many who love Baba as one of the most significant dates of his ministry, for it was on this day that Baba openly rang the bell of his being the avatar, and it continues to ring to this day. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba, can I just take 1 minute or maybe 60 seconds more? So there was a mention about Kurukshetra in the passages we read today and Bhagavad Gita. So those of you who want can watch the 5 episodes of Kurukshetra on Netflix. And also there are a lot of examples or analogies of Meher Baba's divine grace, which we all heard and read today. Jai Baba. Avatar
Jai
Meher.
Baba, Jai
Jai
Baba.
Baba.
Jai
Jai
Thank
Baba.
you,
Baba.
thank
Avatar
you.
Mere Baba ki jai.
Before
Jai
we
Baba,
wrap
Jai
up,
Baba.
yeah, before we wrap up, I just want to say that thank you so much for this call and this attendance because I was actually thinking we'll call it off because of my throat. And look at what a lovely session we had. It's just amazing, right?
Yes, yes.
Every minute
And
was
the
pure gold.
yes, especially the question that Ashish asked.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Indeed.
Especially the question that Ashish asked was
About
automatically
God.
answered.
Yes. Ah, okay.
The answer was there.
Yes, yes, yes,
Jai Baba.
absolutely. It just followed after his
Just followed
question.
immediately after.
Yes, yes. All the different variations. Yeah,
Yeah,
brilliant.
And
yeah.
Brilliant.
Sunil ji is really the quiet one. When Nomita speaks,
Yes,
Sunil
yes.
goes into.
And Sunilji owes us a party for the beautiful words that Nomita ji spoke.